EPS4. Hey guys, this is Elemental Tacos. I'm back, and I'm going to bring you another EPS4 video, except today we're doing something a little special. We're doing Battlefield 4. I'm doing this with Clayton from Infected Toast.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing the Adventures of Mr. X, even though it's not really called full name, The Adventures of Mr. X. We're just following the story of Mr. X and his brother, Mr. Y. Alright, so I'm going to be Mr. X, Clayton's going to be Mr. Y, and here we go.
That's right. Okay, so while it's loading, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of backstory real quick on Mr. X. Mr. X is a guy who's been to prison 3 times.
For running over people.
For running people over, yeah, and killing people. So he's basically just a mad murderer, but for whatever reason he didn't get the death penalty any of those times. And after serving 3 life sentences, nobody still knows how he survived all of those. For serving 3 life sentences, he decided he was going to kill people the legal way, and so he joined the military, and this is what he's doing. So that's a little bit of backstory on Mr. X. Mr. Y is just his wannabe brother who really wants to be like Mr. X.
He's also younger.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready to kill some people. I'm gonna go find a vehicle and run some people over.
Mr. X is mission control, can you hear me?
Gun? Is that you?
No, this is Mr. Y, your wannabe brother. Are you there, Mr. X?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask me.
Mr. X. Mr. X, are you there? Mr. X. We lost him. It's alright, now I can just take his position as best brother. It's okay.
I'm back! And I'm gonna drive this car into someone's face.
How did you do that?
Well, I wandered in the wilderness for 5 seconds and drank my own pee.
Well, that's disturbing. Mr. X. Mr. X, are you there?
Hello?
So, you said you drank your own pee in the wilderness?
This time I drank my own poop.
You drank your own poop.
Yes, and I am now riding among the sweat of my enemies.
That's water.
No, the sweat of my enemies.
Then why is there so much of it, Mr. X?
Because there's so many enemies. Stinking vehicle. I'm gonna blow you up. Stinking trees. Stinking rocks. Stinking sky.
Mr. X, we just realized that your 1-hour timer for not killing somebody is almost up. You have 10 minutes to kill somebody. If you do not kill somebody in that time, you will kill yourself.
I'm not afraid of myself.
Well, Mr. X, would you be afraid of yourself if you weren't yourself?
I also took my medicine today.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Yeah. It turned my face blue this morning. You know, hey, I need your vehicle. No, hey, come back here. Oh, no. I'm over it.
Mr. X, we have enemies located eastbound.
Which way is east?
That way, I think.
Wee! Sweat of my enemies. Sweat of my enemies. I'm gonna hang out under this dock. They will never see me here. And then I'll be able to shoot somebody in the face! With my car!
Mr. X, let me explain something to you. The sweat of your enemies would not pile up as much as the seawater has on these islands.
Well then how can— Butterfly! Anyway, how come it's so salty?
Because it's seawater. First time I ever jumped into the ocean, Mr. X,
It's a vehicle!
I accidentally left my mouth open and I tasted salt for 3 days.
We didn't need to know that about you, Mr. Y. I'm gonna get into this vehicle, and I'm gonna drive it to my vacationing spot. I need a vacation.
Mr. X, you're in the U.S. military. You're not allowed to take a vacation.
Well, I'm going to a tree anyway. Sweat of my enemies. Tree. So many stinking trees. I'm gonna get my car unstuck if it's the last thing
Mr. X? Mr. X, are you there? Mr. X? Mr. X? We lost him. Again.
And I'm back! Why do you keep doing that? Well, this time, I survived because a family of chimpanzees raised me to be a big, strong man. And I've also got some hair on my armpits. But it doesn't feel humid.
You're not human, Mr. X. You're not human.
And how are we brothers?
Didn't Mom and Dad ever tell you? You're adopted.
Actually, I adopted them.
Wow.
Yep. At least I think that's how it happened. Some guy in a really cool van came up, and he was like, "Hey, you want some parents?"
I'm glad he died. It shut him up. But he'll more than likely live some other way, so, you know. Boom. Mr. X. Mr. X. Mr. X. Respond to me, Mr. X. Are you there? Are you there, Mr. X?
Scared you, didn't I? Sorry, I was swimming in the sweat of my enemies.
Shouldn't we put Mr. X in a safe asylum, sir? Commander?
No! Why, he's the finest soldier we've ever had! I believe that he has great potential. Although he may not be 100% legal, he is far better at surviving explosions. In fact, I've considered doing tests on him.
Well, if you're going to, you might as well test him now.
I already did! He has a high concentration of syrup in his bloodstream.
Syrup, sir?
Yes! He claims that he eats it, but he just died again, didn't he?
Yes, yes, sir, he did. Sir?
Yes!
Can you please assure me that he's not gonna come back this time?
I cannot assure you. Ah! I'm back!
And how did you survive this time, Mr. X?
I went up to the Casey's and grabbed some of their pizza.
Pizza?
Yes, I survived off of it for 40 days. Or at least what felt like 40 days. Their pizza took forever!
Oh, yeah, that's Casey's food.
But it was still good and greasy.
Good and greasy, you said?
Just like my hair.
Wow. Mr. X, that's disturbing.
You're disturbing, Mr.
What a loser, didn't even get to finish his sentence.
No!
Commander?
Why, yes, Mr. Y.
Can we please send him to
I'm back!
Can we please send him to the front line so he'll die every single time?
I'm already on the front lines, boy.
Can we please send him to the front line, Commander? Sir.
You are the front lines. Look at all this fire. I almost got run over, but it wouldn't matter. I'm gonna take my vacation, and you can do nothing about it. But first, I'm gonna get in this vehicle and drive it around for a second. Beep 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 beep.
You do know the car has an actual horn, Mr. X.
Who needs horns when you've got beep beep beep?
Why did Lazy Lizard Gamer have to kill Mr. X? It's okay. We forgive you, lazy lizard. Because he'll just come back again.
I'm back! Again, and I'm gonna stinking take my vacation! I'm going to take a vacation.
Like I said before, Mr. X, you're not allowed to take a vacation. You're in the U.S. military.
Then how come I'm doing it right now?
Take him out.
Who did you tell to take him out?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm back! It turns out Mr. Y hired somebody to kill me.
Why would I do such a thing, Mr. X? You're my brother.
There's a knife right behind you, Mr. Y.
There's a what right behind me?
Me.
No, you're in a boat.
Mr. Y, you're in a boat. How could you be right behind me if you're in a boat? I gagged him. He's in the closet right now, Commander.
Very well. He will receive his training soon.
What's the training for?
He shall be on the burrito lines. He will serve us with many burritos. You can... I was going to give you a vacation, but I see you are somewhat preoccupied with death. You know what? I am going to give Mr. Y another chance. Ungag him.
Foul mistake giving me another chance, Commander. Stop imitating my voice, man. We know that when you face puberty, right? That's how you sounded like all the way from 11 to 19.
Well, I definitely don't sound like that now, so that's all that really matters.
You're only 22.
Exactly, I'm 22, and 2 years ago I sounded like so obviously my voice changed extremely fast compared to...
Correction, 3 years ago.
No, that's 2 years ago, you don't have to say.
19 plus 3 is 22.
It took him a while to die there, didn't it?
I'm back.
He was probably bleeding out, sir.
Yes. Yes. Do you guys want to go get some coffee after this?
I like coffee.
I am never going to get coffee with Mr. X, but you can go, sir.
Very well. We will send you some Starbucks. What flavor do you like?
Me?
Yes.
I like grasshopper foam with a slight hint of baby barf coffee.
Very well. That is what we are sending over right now.
I was joking.
Well, you are receiving it anyway. Because we only had the budget for 1 cup of coffee for you.
I'm gonna take my vacation first. They can't keep me out of my vacation. Maybe if I sneak in slowly.
Good work, Mr. X. I'll go out for coffee with you.
Okay, I'm gonna get in this elevator. Does it have elevator music? Alright guys, let's go get some coffee.
Why did I ever sign on for this?
I like this idea. Alright guys, that was gameplay with Mr. X. We hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Shout out to Big Mama 1122 on the PS4 and Ray's Clips.
And have a wonderful day, even if you're on Pompeii, on Volcano Day. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Hablo en inglés.